When we started Valette Wines, we had the exact same philosophy. Yes, I used to make garage wine down here. I was okay.
This podcast is sponsored by Release Winery. Join us as the story of this ultra-limited wine continues. Learn more at releasewinery.com.
This is like a speakeasy, isn't it?
It is. Welcome to my underground cellar, right?
Yeah.
You have everything. You got a couple hundred bourbons, you got some big old prosciutto, you're good. It's like apocalypse ready.
This ain't bad, yeah. I'm here with Dustin Valette, and Dustin is chef as well as restaurateur. Really fun to be here in literally what is, I guess it is a speakeasy in the basement of your home. We won't tell anybody about it, so but it's very cool. And this would be bourbon heaven, yeah?
It is. If you like bourbons, you like wine, you like charcuterie, you're totally set. We have prosciutto down here, again, a couple hundred bourbons. This is where we started the wine brand. So the Valette wine brand started in 2008 as a garage wine brand. And the idea behind it was love food, been in food and wine my entire life. And I wanted to just make a little bit of wine, just for fun. Never made it before. So we started off making a whopping 5 gallons, which is one single demijohn. Kind of tastes like wine. So 2009, we made our first barrel. So we made 25 cases, 1 barrel of wine. And it was absolutely mediocre at best. It wasn't very good, but it kind of tastes like wine. So then 2010 is when we started really refining, understanding the winemaking process. It quickly became a obsession, if you will. Started off as a hobby, became obsession. And then 2016, we launched the Valette wine brand for commercial use. So up until 2016 was garage wine, which was literally made right here. We did fermentation out upstairs, big, beautiful conduits. We had barrel aging. We'd rack down here. We would do bottling, everything right down here. And 2016, we partnered and became a commercial wine brand.
Well, I want to go back to the beginning because you've used the word we several times. I use the word we, but it's just me. How about you?
Exactly the same.
That's what I thought.
Right? So the we is just, my brother and I started it. Valette Wines is just a fun thing. My wife and I, 2008, crushed our first grapes with our good old feet. We got a little different, right? 2009, we got a little more serious, right? We had an actual crusher simmer, no more feet. But as we kept growing the brand, the we is very important. It was bringing people in, people who, were excited about the winemaking process to learn it, people who enjoyed making wine. It was chefs, it was cooks, it was friends of ours. It was just everyone coming together to make something that was special and unique.
Let's go ahead and I should also point out we are in your house. We have a little pup upstairs barking, so it must be a mailman out there somewhere. So let's talk about the restaurant, and that's right here in Healdsburg, in downtown.
Downtown
right
Healdsburg.
on the square, right?
We are. So we have 2 restaurants. We have Valette, which we started 11 years ago. Valette is obviously our last name, but Valette to me is like this just culmination of me and my brother. We started this. My brother's been in the restaurant business like me our whole lives. I've been doing it for, God, I hate saying this out loud, 32 years. He's been doing it for about 30 years, maybe 30, 31, maybe 32. Maybe I'll give him 33. He maybe got me by a year or 2. But we both in the restaurant business our whole lives. And 11 years ago, we had the dream to come back to Healdsburg and start our own restaurant, to start our family restaurant, to really take our craft, our love of hospitality and share that with the world. We opened in 2015, and we were truly blessed. That restaurant, in the first year, we got a James Beard, we got Top 100 by Wine Enthusiast, Top 100 by Open Table. Within the first year, that restaurant just lightning bolt. It was crazy. And we were small. We're a 49-seat restaurant on the corner, nice. Half a block from my house, a block from the square, and that restaurant just blew up. We continued that forward. And then 7.5 years ago, we actually bought our second restaurant called The Matheson, which was our great-grandfather's original bakery called the Snowflake Bakery. And that restaurant to us was just this beautiful, iconic space right on the square. And it was going to be torn down, made in a bunch of condos. And we didn't like that idea. We wanted to put it back in the family. We wanted to tell the story of our family. But more importantly, we wanted to create a place that family, friends, our community could all come and break bread together. And that for us took about 3 years to build. And about 4.5 years ago now, we opened that to the public. And that restaurant has just been, again, lightning in a bottle ever since. But I think it's one of those things you have to be passionate. You gotta have a love for it. You gotta have a love for hospitality. You gotta have a love for making people happy. And if you have that, it's not work. I started this when I was 13 years old. 13 years old in 2 days, to be precise. 2 days after my birthday. And I remember my dad telling me as a kid, if you love what you do, you'll never have to work a day in your life. And I'm very fortunate to say, I've never had to work a day in my life. I wake up, dream about food, dream about hospitality, dream about running restaurants and creating wine. And when I go to bed at midnight, I'm excited to go to bed and excited to wake up in the morning. I'm a truly blessed man.
So for your winery, the wines you're making, how many cases are you doing?
Valette Wines, we're in a growth phase right now. We did about 2,500 cases in 2025. We'll probably increase that by about another 500 to 1,000 this year in 2026. We work with the best vineyards. We work with, Tokelon. We work with Pocket Peak. We work with Michael Brown from formerly Costa Brown, now Cirque. We work with the best winemakers, the best vineyards.
Do you have a limit that you would like to keep within?
It really goes off demand. Right now, we're very fortunate that we have more demand than we do supply. We have the limit, especially our Cab. We have back-to-back 100 points in our Cabernet.
Congratulations.
Thank you. There's a lot of demand for our wines. This is a single ranch, Kick Ranch. This is a single vineyard Sauvignon Blanc. We get 96 points on this, which in the world of Sauvignon Blancs is kind of unique. Again, we're unique where there's more demand than we have supply. And I think that's something in the restaurant business we're used to, right? We're used to being sold out 7 days a week in my restaurants. In the wine industry, everyone was surprised by that. Hold on, what do you mean I can only get 3 bottles of Cab? And I'm like, well, I don't have enough. We only made 450 cases, and it's got a 100-point score, back-to-back 100. So, we don't have enough of the volume. And I think, for us, we want to grow. We want to grow strategically. We don't want to grow too fast. We are very fortunate that we have a team that is just absolutely stellar. We have amazing winemakers. We have amazing employees. Mark Malpede was general manager of William Sellem for 16 years. He's our GM. Kimberly Matheson, absolutely amazing. Literary forever. Good friend of mine for 15 years. Director of Ops. Tom Escobar, national sales. Arista forever. Same thing. We have this list of people, Lisa Demaros, that is just amazing. DTC and club manager. We have this list of people that we want to keep like family. We want to keep them grow and naturally evolve. And, for us, our biggest limitation is the vineyard. So really, it's about maintaining the perfect quality over quantity. In the restaurant business, we learned this a long time ago that I'd much rather have a smaller portion of something delicious and unctuous and just amazing as opposed to a big bowl of something that's kind of good. We take the same approach to wine. We work with the best vineyards, the best winemakers. We make the best quality products we can. And we don't want to grow too fast to lose that sense of authenticity, but also we don't want to grow too fast to lose that sense of who we are, right? We're making food and wine. I'm talking to you right now as a winemaker wearing a chef coat, right? In the cellar with bourbon and prosciutto hanging. I mean,
rather ironic.
This is the most authentic level there is under my house, half a block from my restaurants in downtown Healdsburg. And I think that sense of authenticity, we can never lose that.
Now, you were talking about winemakers. Do you have a few different winemakers you're working with?
We do. So 2016, when we started Valette Wines, we had a different approach. And I took the chef approach. Obviously, I'm a chef. So as a chef, we don't grow all of our own vegetables. We don't harvest our own fish. We don't grow our own lamb. What we do is we work with the very best producers. Now, sometimes we do grow some tomatoes, but most of our products we purchase is not finding the cheapest, not finding the most average, but we find the very best. When it comes to a fishmonger, we find small little fishers who out there and catch fish right off our coast, and we get it caught that morning, brought to us that afternoon. When we talk about, working with a local lamb producer, it's, working with Joe, who literally goes out there and raises lamb right here in Sonoma County, brings us lamb that has been harvested within a 2-mile radius. It's really working with the very best producers. When we started Valette Wines, we had the exact same philosophy. Yes, I used to make garage wine down here. I was okay. But when you sit back and look at the people who are here, look at the pioneers, look at the up-and-comers, it's for us the same approach as a chef. Yes, we have a little estate garden. It's cool, but we work with the best producers for our restaurants. I did the same thing. So we first started off with 2 gentlemen. Bob Cabral, he was at William Sellem for 16 years, completely transformed what Pinot Noir is here in California. First winemaker to get 100 points for Pinot Noir in California. And he started our Burgundy program. So he did Rosé and our Burgundies, our Pinot Noirs. The second was Jesse Katz. Jesse Katz at the time had just left Lancaster. Jesse was, working at Screaming Eagle, working at some of the very best wineries out there. And Jesse had the absolute best palate, best mind for Bordeaux varietals. So 2016, we started with 2 winemakers, which was doing both a Burgundy and a Bordeaux. Very quickly, that brand took off, Valette Wines. Quickly, people picked up on it. Our very first score by Parker was a 95 on our Cab. followed by 97, followed by 100. So very quickly, the Cabernet really just started taking off, and so did the Pinot Noirs. And in 2019, we brought on Tom Rocchioli. Tom Rocchioli, of course, of Rocchioli. That's one of the most iconic vineyards out here. Think about any winemaker and say, what's the best fruit? It's, in Sonoma County, Rocchioli. So we brought on Tom Rocchioli to make a Chardonnay for us. Estate fruit, absolutely stunning. I've known the Rocchioli family forever. Just one of, if not the best winemakers out there, one of the best farmers out there. So he started our Chardonnay program in 2019. In 2022, our Chardonnay program got a little bigger than Tom could handle. So we brought on Dave Ramey. Dave Ramey, absolutely iconic winemaker, the godfather of Chardonnay.
He is.
And Dave Ramey makes our other Chardonnay for us. So we currently have 2 Chardonnays, one by Tom Rocchioli, one by Dave Ramey. Really honoring them, honoring what they did for our industry, what they did for Sonoma County, their approach to wine, their ability to take their artisan touch, their intellect, and spin that into grapes and just make this outstanding wine. 2022, we also started getting a little bigger than just Bob Cabral when it came to Pinot Noir. So we reached out, and we went to Michael Brown. Michael Brown, formerly of Costa Brown, now of Cirque and Chev. Dear friend of mine, used to work with my brother back at John Ash back in the day when he was the wine guy at the restaurant, but a dear friend. So in 2022, we started the Michael Brown. So very fortunate now to have 5 existing winemakers, with Bob Cabral still focusing on Burgundy, Pinot Noirs, Jesse Katz still focusing on Bordeaux, the Cabernet, along with our beautiful Sauvignon Blanc, also our 100-point back-to-back Cabs, which are stunning. Then we have Tom Rocchioli and Dave Ramey focusing on 2 Chardonnays, and now Michael Brown focusing on our Pinot Noir. So 2 different Pinot Noir producers, 2 different Chardonnay producers, and then 1 Cabernet and Sauvignon Blanc producer.
Nice. Well, David is a god, basically. So
I would 100% agree with you. His palate, his mind, his vision. When we sit back, I'm OCD. I have massive attention to detail. I could tell you everything about everything there is in food, I think, right? But when you sit back with Dave Ramey and you see the depth he puts into it, you understand the granularity, not only his knowledge, but his palate, his mind. When you're sitting there and, we're going through 40 barrels to pick which barrels we want to blend together, and he's telling you like, well, the Francois Fier barrel is great, but as on a 3-year-old barrel, you lose the oak. But this 3-year-old barrel, the Terranceau versus the Francois Fier, he's like, the flavor profile is so much different. And he's the one that really taught me the jigsaw puzzle. He taught me how the pieces all interlock and fit together. It is truly magic watching him blend wines. And as a chef, to be able to go in there and take a chef's palate, to see Chardonnay through a chef's eyes, and to work with Dave Ramey and have him as a mentor, right, of Chardonnay, but more importantly, to have him be able to sit back and teach you the jigsaw puzzle, teach you the pieces, the interlock, teach you how this barrel with this Chardonnay, with this vineyard, with 8% concrete egg and 12% stainless steel blends with the 3-year-old barrel and the 2-year-old barrel and the 1-year-old barrel, and how to put these flavors together. It's truly magical. And these blends take us multiple days sitting there tasting wine, blending.
Sure.
And it is my absolute favorite part. All my guys at the restaurant know, Dustin's blending Chardonnay today. He's gonna be gone for 2 days. Yeah. He'll come back with a ear-to-ear smile and be like, oh man, try this. Try this little slash right here. It's absolutely astonishing.
Do you have a tasting room?
We do. So right now we're doing food and wine pairings at both Valette and The Matheson. So actually this afternoon, in about 20 minutes, we're gonna go back and we're hosting 30 people for a big food and wine experience at Valette Restaurant. Now, as a chef, wearing a chef coat, all of our tastings are integrated with food. We really believe that Sauvignon Blanc here is delicious, but you have this with a beautiful little ceviche. You have this with a nice little bit of crudo. You have that with fresh passion fruit from right outside my house. The flavors of food and wine enhance each other. It is stunning when you have this with food. So we do tastings. Our tastings are integrated back with food. We're actually building out a new wine lounge, which we're very excited for. We're probably about 3 months away. So by the time this airs, hopefully, you'll be able to go experience it. It's going to be right in downtown Healdsburg. Exact same thing, a dedicated Valette Wines home called the Valette Wine Lounge. Same thing with food though. So you can have wine by itself, of course. You can have some beautiful charcuterie, but you can also have a really fun food and wine experience. And I think, as a chef, that is the best way to me to experience wine is with the integration of food.
Totally agree. Yes.
And the Valette Wine Lounge, who knows? We might even have a little bit of a bourbon, just in case you want to have a little bit of bourbon later at night.
That'd be the under-the-counter kind of thing. Hey.
Well, we are in a speakeasy.
That's true. That's how that works. And for our listeners who'd like to learn about you online, what's your website?
Absolutely. So the wine brand is valetteWines.com. wines.com. That's VALETTE, wines, with plural.com. If you want to check out the restaurants, Valette Healdsburg, the town that we're in, .com is our restaurant. And of course, thematheson.com is our other restaurant.
Excellent.
Or you can just go to Valette Hospitality and learn about everything.
Yeah, your name's going to come up one way or the other. So
there's not a lot of Valettes out there. We're kind of unique.
Yeah. Dustin, thank you for bringing me down to your speakeasy and seeing how incredibly cool this is. I really appreciate you taking time, and a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure. Very nice to meet you too. Very excited to have you down here and, talk about wine, talk about food, but really talk about what are the best parts of life, right? It really is just this. It's bringing family and friends together. I can't stress that enough. And I've been very fortunate in my life in the past 30 plus years to bring people together over food, and now you'll bring people together over food and wine together. This is the best part of my life. This is what I was born to do, and hopefully I'll see you here in downtown Healdsburg at the restaurants or the wine brand. Cheers.